Oh my gosh.
All right, we're live.
All
Not
right.
used to that, are you?
Good evening, all. Welcome to the town board agenda meeting for November 27th. Please rise and salute this flag, and Andy McMahon will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman McMahon,
here.
Councilman Hanlon,
Here.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Here.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. Okay, we're gonna just start off with number one. You all got a thing from Lori about maybe 10, 12 days ago about the resolution for the hazard mitigation plan, and we really have to pass the resolution tonight. They need it early or this week, actually. So I don't know if you read it or looked at it. The hazard mitigation plan.
Was emailed to everyone on the 16th of November.
That Karen and Chris have been working on that for 6, 8 months, right?
I didn't bring it with me.
I have a draft one here. Did you do one, Mary?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I thought there was one attached. Was there one attached?
Yeah, there was to your emails.
To the resolution. I want that. But it's a simple resolution. It's a county thing, yeah. Everybody in county.
So this was prepared by the county.
Yep.
I have a draft. I think it's the same thing here. Does
Yeah, I have-
anyone want it?
I'm showing.
I don't have it.
What it says is that we adopt the county plan.
Right, that's all we're doing, this.
Anybody else want to look at this? There's the meat right there. All right, did you send us the county plan too?
I sent you whatever's in this packet.
The whole,
That
The
Chris and
hazard
Karen-
mitigation plan is a plan that the county puts together of all of the towns and their responses to emergency things and like snowstorms, rainstorms, hurricanes, tornadoes, dams failing, culverts failing, and it's done. Every town has a responsibility, and then they compile each town's hazard mitigation plan into this county-wide plan that's adopted by the county. And this was sent to you back in, I think, August to review the plan and see if you had any input. But again, Chris and I, Jean and Ronnie have worked on this for months. Getting it ready to submit to the county, which we've done, and they've now compiled every town's together, and they just need you to pass this resolution to adopt
Okay.
our portion of it.
Okay.
What it does is it addresses where we see recurring problems, things that we feel could be done to mitigate some of those issues, and part of that is where you're applying for grants for culverts and for bridges, and they suggest things like in flooded areas that commonly flood, that you can build up the areas and the different things that you can do.
It also identifies resources that we could provide for neighboring communities.
Right, like new stuff that we put in there was where we recently made the senior center, the emergency center, for heating and cooling, and we put in where we had made that new contract with Salvation Army to come in, and went in need of emergency So we just updated a lot of what was there and put in new ideas and addressed things that had been done and things that hadn't been done that still continue to need to be done and the reasons why they hadn't gotten done.
Was,
So-
just a question, was any coordination done between the fire department, the fire chief?
Yes.
Okay. And they're happy with, they sat down with you and they had input and you
I
worked it all out?
contacted them and we
Okay.
talked about, because they ended up taking them out of the flood area where the fire station was because, they had talked about raising up the records in there onto pallets and stuff, and they said that they had gotten an elevation certificate and they were above the floodplain anyway, so they took that out.
Okay.
So yes, we discussed with all of them.
So you're just looking for us to make a motion to pass a resolution
Well,
to
the
forward this
county
on?
is, yeah.
You just need, I make a motion. I'd like to make a motion on that.
I get a second?
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? None carried.
And just for a quick thing, this morning, real early this morning, I got a call from emergency management. They had a lady that needed to be taken care of for heat, no heat. She happened to come from Stony Creek. They brought her in an ambulance and we set her up in the senior center and we were all ready for her. She had breakfast with us, lunch with us, and they came and picked her up about 3 o'clock when the power went back.
nice.
So it got used a little bit on what we were talking about.
Good.
All right, we'll also have a presentation on the playground by Michael. You wanna?
I assume everybody was Mike.
Yes.
Evening, everybody. For a way of introduction, Michael Panich, I'm a registered landscape architect. I work at the LA Group Landscape Architecture and Engineering down in Saratoga Springs. But for this project, I'm not representing the company. I've been working pro bono as a resident, father in the community, and someone who wants to see our community continue to grow. Also, I joined the planning board as an alternate a few months ago, so just here mainly to assist in any way possible. And I was asked by my friend and associate Tracy, who's been working with Supervisor Merlino and Councilman Niles for quite a while on how to improve the town, and the idea of a playground came across the board and I jumped at the chance to help out. So we've got a presentation on the screen there, but you also have a copy of it in your hands here. And so at Pavilion Park, we cited, you want to switch to the next slide, Chris?
Mike, just to let you know, it looks a lot better in color.
I'm sure. I apologize for just having black and white prints.
Yeah, but look at the leaves there.
Yeah, no, really, it's unbelievable what it looks like in color.
Yeah, so playground's gonna be at Pavilion Park. We have several goals for the project. We're hoping to kind of capture the park's kind of got a beautiful mature tree stand that we want to keep and remain and protect as much as possible. We want to incorporate the existing play equipment that's there. We want to utilize the topography that's out there. There's that great slope right next to the pavilion that leads down to where the swing set is. We want to incorporate that and build like an earth slide component so that kids can utilize that space, go running up the hill and slide down the hill, or roll the hill in the grassy areas as they see fit. We want to create an affordable destination playground that would be kind of the feather in the cap for the community. And to do so, we want to utilize natural untreated wood products. The safety surfacing would be an engineered wood fiber material, which is relatively affordable. Wherever practical, we aim to have a universally accessible design, so that there'd be components in the design that would be able to be utilized by anybody of any sort of physical capabilities. And the general goal is to have 2 to 3 major structure components and then kind of smaller individual pieces in between them, and kind of have an activity movement ribbon trail that kind of connects different components one to another. And then also to incorporate resting locations throughout the playground for the parents and caregivers to occupy the space and be able to watch the kids in comfort. Just to quickly go through a couple existing conditions photos. I'll switch. The top left image.
Top left image.
There you go. Top left image there is a shot of that embankment. Councilman Niles, myself and Chris went out there a few weeks ago to measure the slide just to make, or measure the slope just to make sure we had certain things that we wanted to achieve, both from a height and slope standpoint. There would be a little bit of earthwork needed to kind of make that slope a little bit more steep for slides to get enough speed for the slide. But there's about 7 feet difference from the bottom of the slope to the top of the slope. Moving over, shifting a little bit, you can see the kind of the general open space area between the slope and the tree stand. That would be where the majority of the equipment would go. And kind of bookending the southern end of the playground would be the swing set there in the top right. Bottom left image is just looking from the top of the slope down across the field of play space. And then just another shot of the general play space. Next, this is just the existing condition site plan that kind of utilizes, shows the area of interest. You can see, so the project area mainly is from the
Chris,
swing set over
okay,
to
give the microphone.
sure. So the main area of interest for the project area would start at the swing set here at one end and then go across to where kind of the slope leads down to the lakefront. There are some existing trees that we would have to remove, as well as there's some existing pines that would be kind of in that area that we'd probably want to remove just for the sake of not having their sap drip all over the new equipment and kind of make everything sticky and not fun to play on. If you want to go to the next slide. So to walk through the design a little bit, here at the one end, right here at B1 on the plan, that is the existing swing set. A1, A2, A3, those are hammocks that would be kind of spaced throughout the playground area, and that would be the space for caregivers, parents to hang out in. Kids obviously would also have a lot of fun in the hammocks, but from my perspective, it'd be great to rest and relax while the kids play, and the hammocks would give a great opportunity for that. C2 next to there, those are a couple of kind of the spring-based play equipment. It would be kind of shaped like a mule, I believe. They're kind of a whimsical, very natural wood product. D1 next to that would be a spinner, which would incorporate a lot of motion into the playground. In general, kids like a varied amount of activity, whether it's climbing, swinging, sliding, anything that spins. All those things are big hits with the kids. So incorporating any sort of different type of motion we want to have throughout the playground. E1 here is one of the main attractions. And this is kind of a climbing structure that I think is trying to find what's called a 6-sided climbing structure. So that's it would have kind of activity walls on each side that the kids can use to climb up to a platform on the top where they could occupy the space and kind of look around the entirety of the playground. Here along the slope would be a slide. We've got a couple of different options that we can talk about, but it could either be a stainless steel slide. That would be kind of a wider slide where multiple kids could slide down at the same time. Or it could be for value engineering, we could have a plastic slide or even 2 plastic slides. So you could have kids racing each other down the slope. Moving on, there'd be a couple of spinners. Those are kind of like little teacups that the kids kind of sit in and they're tilted a little funky and the kids spin around really, really fast while they hold on. And that's a big hit for anything from toddlers to middle school age kids. Really love that super fast spinning element. This item here is another one of the major elements, and that's called the Cocoa Wave rope pendulum swing. And that is essentially this long, gigantic rope that multiple kids can kind of sit along and the whole thing swings together. So everybody kind of sways back and forth as one. another incorporating more motion. And then from here to the other bookend of the playground is kind of the activity ribbon, the adventure trail, where we have wobble bridges that hop onto like little leaf things that the kids would hop onto. And then there'd be these what they call stilts, where it's like multiple stilts that stick out of the ground that the kids would kind of hop in between to get from one end to the other. Kind of a adventure bridge after that, more wobbling, and then just a balance beam that would end here at kind of, this is the major wow factor. This is what makes the destination playground. And that is called the tree climber, which is essentially this giant multi-story high pole that reaches up to the sky and then just has this netting all the way around it that the kids can climb all the way up. The whole thing kind of sways a little bit in the wind. There's a great sense of adventure. There's a little bit of a feeling of danger, but in reality, if the kids fell from the top, they would just kind of slide down the netting all the way down to the ground safely. But it would be kind of, it would be like having a 50-foot tall Christmas tree year round in the park that kids could climb up to the top of. And this would be the thing that would really bring people to the park to play for a long time. So that's the design in general. As I said, there'd be kind of safety engineered wood fiber all the way through it for the surfacing. And that's different from mulch. It's specifically made to never lose its kind of bouncy safety factor. If you were to do just regular mulch, it would deteriorate quickly over time, but also get compacted so that initially when you first put it in, it would be nice and fluffy. But after one season of snow, it would get so compacted that it would be too hard and a kid falling off of any of the equipment would hurt themselves. Whereas the wood fiber maintains kind of a bounciness so that the kid falls, they just kind of bounce off of it and they're safe. We'll move to the next slide. So this is a rendering kind of showing that overhead view. Here you can kind of see that the parts of the image are obscured from the trees, but that's the idea, that we want to have as much of the remaining existing trees in place so that there's shade and it's more comfortable to occupy in the summertime. If we were to clear cut the whole site, it would be very hot and just not as fun in the summertime. So having kind of that, keeping the nature as much as possible. And that's kind of reflected in what we selected for the products in general, having the natural Robinia wood as kind of the basis of the design for all of the equipment, kind of keeps that kind of theme of nature. And we'll move to the next slide. Here's an image from the ground view. So this is supposed to be the existing swings that are out there. But here are the mule springs. There's the spinner. There's the 6-sided climbing structure. Over here is the Cocoa Wave swing. These are those little teacup spinners that you sit in and just spin real fast. Kids get a kick out of that. There's another view of that 6-sided climber. So you can see that each side has something different and interesting. There's a rope challenge to get up. There's bars to climb up or slide down. There's kind of the fireman pole, more rock walls and stuff to climb. And then on top is the platform itself is made out of a netting. So it's more fun to sit on rather than just kind of the standard schoolyard plastic platform where you can't see below or interact with anything below. The advantage of having the net as the platform is, there's going to be kids underneath reaching up. There's going to be kids on top reaching down. There's more interaction between the different levels of the playground. This is the image of the proposed super wide stainless steel slide. The original, given that everything was kind of pro bono design wise, both from my perspective, but also the team at Compan, which is the playground company that we were teaming up with. We don't have official survey or anything on the site, so everything that we pulled were just what was available from the New York State GIS website. And so the accuracy of the contouring and stuff and the data we had on hand wasn't exact to what's out there in reality. And so when Councilman Niles and Chris and myself went out there to measure, we found out that there was an extra couple feet of height. So the slide that is envisioned there, imagine that being even a little bit bigger than what we see there. And what they have here is called a transfer platform. That's meant to allow kids to get off of it's an accessibility thing, where slide down if you're someone that is wheelchair based, would slide down and then transfer from the bottom of the slide onto the transfer platform, which then they transfer onto their wheelchair from. We can get more into that in a little bit. Go ahead. There's another view closer up of that spinner. There's another view of the six-sided thing. You can see there in the distance. So you have your activity ribbon trail kind of leading off. And then you see in the background something that really draws you through. There's that Christmas tree-like structure. So here's the Cocoa Wave pendulum swing. So this whole thing just swings back and forth. You can walk across it. You can sit on it. There's different options for how you interact with the structure. There's the activity trail. So you got different things from the net to walk across. You got the lily pads. These are the stilts I mentioned, where you kind of do like a freestyle walking across it. Good. And then here's the tall structure, the piece de resistance, the tree climber. So you can see here that the density of the net and the shape of it allows anybody that falls to kind of slide down it. And you can slide, you can play within it and into it. And I think the net's not just on the exterior of it, but I think there's more netting kind of within, so you can climb interior up.
Is that one of the hammocks on the left?
Yes, this is a hammock. There's just a more zoomed out. Yeah, so you can see the hammock, someone pushing a kid on the hammock. So not only could you just rest in a bit, there's interactive elements where kids can push and tug at the hammock. So here's just more detailed looks of the different structures. As I mentioned, everything that we selected is based with Robinia wood, and that's the kind of the logs on the exterior. As I understand it, Robinia, it's an exotic hardwood that has some sort of like natural oils in it that essentially make it insect proof and rot proof, and it'll last the lifetime of the playground. Warranty wise, I think all the stainless steel components for all the different play equipment have a lifetime warranty. The Robinia wood itself has a 10-year warranty. All the ropes and the nets, which are made of a UV stabilized PA, which is some sort of a polyethylene sort of thing with inner steel cable reinforcement. All that's 10 years. All spare parts are 10-year warranty. So everything's built to last warranty wise, and 10 years is a pretty standard high-end equipment warranty. You're not going to find any manufacturer that warranties something for 30 or 40 years. It just doesn't exist. Cost of that would be too much. So here's a carousel with seats. That's kind of the spin around. And so in that, there's options to either stand on it or sit on it as it spins around and around. So different kids can interact with it different ways. People with different abilities can occupy it in different ways. Hammocks, so you can sway on it, you can just lay on it, different ways of playing with it. Capacity two users, so they're large, relatively large hammocks. There's the embankment slide, and so as I mentioned, the high end option would be this wide stainless steel slide where it's wide enough that multiple kids can slide down at the same time. As a potential cost savings, we could nix the stainless steel option and do plastic slides, and having two plastic slides for kids to race next to each other would probably still be slightly more affordable than the stainless steel. There's another view of the pendulum swing. Keep moving. There's the tree climber. Yeah, so that's the long and short of it.
Did you paint? Nice.
And then, are there any questions of just the general design or the
Is
vision?
this eliminating the pavilion that's there right now?
No. The pavilion stays, everything that is existing stays. The only thing that would be removed is a lot of turf would have to get removed because we'd be installing the playground. As I mentioned, I think we marked 3 medium-sized deciduous trees that would have to come out in order to fit the equipment. And then it would be optional, but I'd highly recommend removing several of the closest pine trees just so that their sap doesn't drip all over the equipment.
Most of those trees that need to be removed would be down close to Sylvan.
Yeah, and for the pine trees, they're getting to the age where they're gonna start becoming
Well, you
dangerous
got
anyways.
2 or 3 down there that are
I know.
crotch trees.
Yeah,
They should be down anyway.
yeah, I mean, just speaking from personal experience, just last night, we lost a pine tree that went over my front driveway just from the ice, so. Doesn't take a lot once they get to a certain age to start falling, popping out of the ground.
And those are all native.
So this is
And-
behind? I'm trying to
Yeah,
picture
so
where. it would
pavilion
be.
sits at the top of the hill.
Yeah,
And then looking down the
Or
hill
my house.
going towards your
towards
house.
Sylvan, it would be
Into
in
the-
that
where the
kind of
parking lot
large
is.
grassy area.
No, I.
Parking
actually-
lot stays where it's at.
Parking lot will still stay too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris,
The
can you go
So
back?
it's left of the
restroom
back.
building, and then there's the
Looking down.
swing
to-
set,
Okay.
and then everything else towards the lake, all the grass towards the lake would be where the playground
You pull
occupies.
that back up or did you shut it down?
Annie?
Yeah.
The swing is over here. Okay,
That's the pavilion, right there.
that's the pavilion.
So
My
like,
house is
lake's
right
over
here,
here, this is right here.
and there's a parking area right here.
Mhm.
Okay, but that's the swinging and the outhouse. Okay, and this is the lake over here. That answer your question, you know?
Yeah.
So basically, this row of trees that are down in here,
Mhm.
a lot of them are in tough shape. Okay. And then you got.
Especially along the road, yeah.
You got a couple of monsters over in here, which we've lost, and Gene can verify that. Right along the edges of the old trail that goes from Sylvan Road up. Where the old boathouse is based.
We're slowly taking them down.
Right?
Hmm.
You ever noticed the hammock that I have down by the river?
Yes.
That it's covered with high pitch.
Pretty sticky, you don't fall out of it, do you?
What about,
That's why I think the lake is somewhere level.
price point?
Price point, so. If we kept everything from the design, including the metal slide and the transfer platform, all the hammocks. Applying the compan applied a 15% discount that they said they'd be willing to give the town for all their equipment. Their numbers come in at about $142,000. And that would be for equipment and the engineered wood fiber to be manufactured and delivered to the site. From there, as we discussed when we were formulating how this is all gonna come to fruition, Supervisor Merlino thought that in order to save on the installation, because really the installation is gonna cost a lot of money if you were to hire a contractor to install it, that the town would dedicate town forces to do the installation of the project. And so that would be something that the labor of installing it would not be part of that $142,000.
You're saying that the fiber for the ground is included in 142?
The engineered wood fiber is. The only number that is not included, that is a material cost, would be
The curb?
the curbing to hold everything in
Okay.
place, which would be essentially just ground contact rated lumber, like 4x4s.
Can you get us a set of specs in regards to how this stuff gets put into the ground and everything?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can get you
Uh,
installation.
Concrete, the whole 9 yards, so we can figure out budgetary figures.
Right.
For the total, project.
Yep.
You're kind of looking, in my eyes, right at the present time, including labor, the curbing and everything, we're looking at about 200,000.
No, there's special designs in that, like the tree, that you just can't have town employees putting that up. That's, you'd want the tree climb, you wouldn't want. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd want,
Ripped up in the air?
No, people who've never put one in before, putting one in, and have kids climbing on it. So I think there's a lot of installations are going to require professional installations.
So then that would be something else we would need to
Yeah,
consider.
that's
and
gonna
plan
have
for.
to, you just can't put this on a grounds crew who's never, what are you doing? That's fine. I never put one of these in.
Well,
I don't think that's
Most of it is
right.
like an erector set. That they, it
But
comes
the
already-
rope tensions and the way those bolts, you know what I mean? That's a specific thing.
This is all certified. Do we gotta get it certified after it's installed? Is there, somebody come in to double check it?
Process for that.
Periodically checked,
Inspection on it.
inspections?
Maintenance, all that stuff. I don't have answers for you right off the top of my head, but I can get you maintenance ruling,
You know, along
that
with
sort of
what
thing.
we-
Apparatus.
What is the price with it and
ADA
put in?
compliant, is that a correct statement?
Say that again.
Each apparatus is ADA compliant.
Each apparatus is designed for universal accessibility. I don't think the ADA necessarily comes into play, given that this isn't designed as an official accessible playground.
Is it safe to say that it meets code?
Yes. Code
Is
and
it safe to say that it's stuff that the insurance company won't
Jump all over it.
choke over?
right, so everything would have to get installed as per the manufacturer's recommendations, and so all of that is, there's a lot of ifs in terms of installation and stuff, but yes, the idea would be it would be installed correctly, it would be certified.
Installations.
I wonder if maybe,
Well, that's gonna make a determination.
yeah, hold on. I wonder if maybe Breeze Company would give us a price for a technical supervisor.
Mhm.
So we could install, but they would
Would
be
oversee it.
And you'd have to free our people up from doing their duties, daily duties too. You can't have them up there working for 4 months. Putting a playground when we got a jungle developing at the beach. Where the
Right.
grass isn't getting cut. So they're gonna have to maintain the town too. And you had a question about price point.
Yes, how much, what would the price be having it complete? Having the company install everything?
We didn't ask for that because I thought that we'd want to have some sweat equity involved in it.
Right. So that
Well,
number,
we can
I
ask
can get you that number. I don't have it because it wasn't part of
I
what
think
the
I'm leaving
plan
some of
was.
it. I know we can do ourselves, but the rest of it, there's a lot of portions of that
Yeah, like the groundwork, the layout of the curb, the ground, it's just, you get
it's
into
gonna be
the,
over their heads. Nothing against the men.
no, it's just, they don't do it every day. I
No.
wouldn't want them doing it. I wouldn't want to put it on them. Say, hey, put up this apparatus. I don't want to, you know, what I mean? I don't, that's ridiculous. You can't ask them to do
Not just that,
something.
if something goes wrong, the liability all falls back to us.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay?
Right. And so along those lines, if you were to go the other way and it's not the town forces that install it, I don't know specifically for the town if there's certain municipal law in terms of would it have to go out to public bid for a contractor to install it. And at that point, the number that we can estimate is just an estimate. And, you know, speaking from personal experience and recent jobs that I've been doing for local municipalities, the swing in the bid range for something like a small trail have been like the low bidder was like 300,000 and the high bidder was like $1.8 million. And so
Yeah,
that's a big range. So really it'll depend on who comes out to bid on the project. And
but you can put them in as supervisory, you know, job super on the job, to
Mhm.
oversee the job. Because it's their equipment they're supplying. You don't have to go out to bid. The manufacturer is or the person that's selling it is the person that is speccing it and making sure it's put in correctly. Now we don't have to go out to regular, you know, for installation.
For installation.
If we go out to installations, yes, you are 100% correct, sir.
right.
And the other thing we talked a lot about, not doing it all at one time.
Phasing it is also
In sections at
something
a
to
time.
consider.
Well, let's see what that lady's got to say.
Yeah, well, she's up next on my thing. She's
And
going
yes,
to
and
fight for
funding opportunities,
some
how to
grant
fund
money.
it is another discussion altogether. Whether we try to wholly crowdfund it through the community, whether we try to seek out grants in order to get funds in place
What
for
about
it,
some benches?
Hmm?
What about some benches?
Mhm.
include benches.
It does?
No, we can. There's the memorial bench that's down there now that would remain down there, probably get relocated to somewhere else along the edge of the playground, but there can certainly be more benches.
I think.
But you know, that a bench, you know, the bench that's down there is very nice, and there can certainly be more, you know, more homemade benches that can be procured and installed that don't need to be higher and more expensive manufactured bench.
I agree with you.
And that can also be something that's phased in after the playground's complete
Winter projects.
winter projects.
Yeah, well, benches, that's something I feel like since we've been doing them,
Yeah, we do.
our employees to do it. Another thing is if our employees are working at that cost of per hour paying them has to be figured into it.
Oh,
You know, so it's not free and clear, it's costing the taxpayer.
Definitely not.
oh, yeah.
Right.
Because whatever they don't get done on normal hours, they're gonna double up and get done.
That's what I'm
Because-
saying. The project you're looking at is gonna be at least $200,000 by the time you're done. At least.
What trade? If we had to bid it, what trade would it be?
General construction. General contractor.
Yeah, but they wouldn't know any more than.
You wanna know something?
No, but they're be
X
the ones that
amount
come
of
out to bid
feet
on
You
it.
gotta get, what do you call
Rigor,
them? Yeah, bridge, people that make, do bridges,
Ironwork.
ironworkers.
Yeah,
I might be able to.
X amount
Yeah.
of feet off the ground. Yeah, what you
Dane.
got there, Dane?
So I don't know if this differs from a municipality or, you know, like a private commercial enterprise or anything like that, but in like my treetop course and things like that, you have to get it has to be certified by professionals who specialize in this sort of thing. X amount of feet above the ground. I don't have that number for you of what the feet is, but there are a number of contractors in the Northeast that do that are certified in that. There's your insurance company for the town is going to want to have it certified, I'm assuming, by one of those people. One of the organizations is the Association of Challenge Course Technologies, and they have set people that come out and they, like my park, for example, has to get certified every year. You can get it certified by somebody who's not that, but your insurance is going to go through the roof. So they really look for those specific.
Happen throughout the installation, or is it after the fact they come in?
So both. Yeah, so the people that build the course are certified. They have to take all these hours of training and everything in order to be certified by the company or the organization. And then he'll come out, then the state does a separate inspection as well. I don't know if this is accurate for playgrounds. I'm just saying that a lot of these elements that you have there are similar to what I would have in my park. And that's the kind of the process that we have to go to.
Good luck next year. Oh.
Well, Mike, I think you did a
congratulations.
great job. I know you spent a lot of time, more than we did, but we put a lot of time into this.
It's my pleasure.
And appreciate your, part of it. But we gotta look into it and we gotta hope we can, Tracy can help us out a little bit on some grant funding. I think she has some information, so.
I would highly suggest you send this to your insurance company before you get too far, because they may have a process and they may not insure parts of it. So
Yep.
before you make any decisions. I
Yeah,
would send
that's a good idea.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike, thanks a lot.
thank you.
We'll keep in touch.
I hope we're not done.
Dane, thank you for your input too. That's
Yeah,
important.
next year will be Dane's problem, not mine.
It's a huge amount of work that went into this, so,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. From a little concept to really, you could see it on the ground. It's
That's
pretty
why I sent,
exciting, I think.
that's why I sent the board there a week ago about the grants that our illustrious governor put out in regards to stuff like this.
Yes, yes. So the one that stands out to me is the most recent one on the Adirondack Smart Growth Grants. And those are for the Catskill Park and Adirondacks. And what's different this year is, well, not only do they just concentrate money to those two regions, but it's for the Adirondacks is 2.5 million. Okay, they've never had that before. It's always been some anemic amount, that really didn't make a lot of difference. So there's a lot of categories for this grant, but one of them is recreation and really helping communities establish places for their residents and visitors to come. Destination Playground is perfect fit. And so these grants are up to 125,000 and there's no match. But of course, you're more you have more value if you add something, whether it's in-kind value of your staff or some materials or somebody whatever it is. If it's cash, it's always good to add that, and that will add value to your application. These are due the end of January. So if you decide that you want to put this project forward, then I can write that grant easily by then and get a resolution from you and what have you. Now that we have a price and a plan, that's what goes with, you have to have that to make any inroads in these grants.
And as far as I understand it, with the grant application, even, fully applied with what the design is, it's not set in stone. There's still ample opportunity to modify design, swap out components, change it as need be. both from,
Add a pickleball court? Is that any place in your ream of what we're doing? Is there like any room, do you think?
It's not part of the playground plan.
Okay.
It was part of the original vision statement.
No, but in that vision, could you visualize a pickle court?
There could be room within the property for a pickleball.
That's what I was,
Yes,
Really?
okay.
particularly if the new area got relocated.
Oh,
This is up a 9N, here's.
That's 9N and 7.
So that'll solve some other problems. Good, thank you.
well, we hadn't considered a pickleball court down there. We talked during the comprehensive plan about putting or transferring one tennis court into a
Right.
pickleball, or a couple of them up there where they are now.
There's a curveball that's been thrown at us. Which you don't know about, and that's that the tennis courts over at the middle school are not regulation courts. So when the school has a tennis match, they use the courts down on Main Street.
So you got 3 courts down there in town. If you take 2 of them,
That's
you might as
gonna-
well hang it up because the school, it isn't big enough for the school.
That we found out a couple weeks ago.
Well, in this,
The area that I'm thinking about,
Up top.
yeah. Right now, we've got a few picnic tables up there and a couple of hibachi grills up there. Living right there. They're used occasionally. But I think if we can consolidate that. And get a price for a couple courts up there, I think that would be good, wouldn't you, Gene?
That's where we have the food trucks.
I was just gonna say,
No, your food trucks are way up here. There's the pavilion. I'm saying down almost, here's the parking lot, all the way down almost to the corner, across the street from your wife's house.
yeah, well, we'd have to look at that inside, but those trucks took up a lot of space on.
Oh, I can't disagree with you.
One of the things Andy's asking, I'm kind of curious too, do you think that that pickleball court cost would fit the goals of the grants that are out there right now?
excuse me. Pickleball courts are unbelievably expensive. I wrote a grant for the town of Chester for 6 of them. And they are roughly, I think they're, at least last time I checked, it was about 35,000. If you have all the infrastructure there, because then you have to add the fence and all of that. And you really have to choose an area where they're not gonna drive other people crazy, like your guests. The sound of a pickleball. It is a huge problem all over, where the people complain about, neighbors complain in residential areas about the sound.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's a popping noise. It's like a wiffle ball and it's constant. constant. And
I
so
don't want.
communities are have become.
Careful what you ask for, Paul.
Yeah.
You just may get it.
You know where I said put it though?
Yeah.
His house.
Well,
not
you'll
mine.
hear it from your house.
No, they're super obnoxious, and most people really object to them being too close to their house, so,
No kidding.
oh yeah, it's a huge problem.
That's 35,000 per court.
Yes, yes.
But back to the grant question. Could they be part of that one?
Add them onto this.
Yeah.
We'll get a separate
What,
one.
just in terms of what that grant is aiming to do. Could they be part of that?
Yes,
Do you think that would?
And I
be a
think-
Stronger application if we diversified?
He's already got the specs on the pickleball court from Chestertown, she just said.
that's true.
Mhm.
So throw in 2
I'll give
courts.
them to you.
You missed one thing. Where are you gonna put them? Pickleball courts that are so annoying and drives people nuts and they'll throw you out of office next election season. So
It's true, you
I
really have to,
sign on to that one.
I'm not sure you want them right there, because it's such a peaceful park. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll now have children screaming and yelling.
Well,
You know something, that's the greatest thing in the world.
What, the sound of
Huh?
kids screaming?
Kids laugh.
I don't care, they're screaming, they're hollering, they're laughing, they're kidding. I sit on my deck and
You
when you
like
get a group there for a wedding or a bar mitzvah for all I care, they're down there and they're having fun and they're rolling down the hill, the whole 9 yards. I sit there and smile and listen to it. Anybody that bitches about kids having a good time in today's world ought to leave our area. That's the way I feel about it.
You know what? We might be able to talk to school and let us take their tennis courts over and do it there.
Yeah, if their schools aren't usable for them for their actual competitions,
Mhm.
that makes the.
That's what I mean.
That's a great idea,
That's a good idea, Gene.
because they have, you know,
I'll give you a 1 for that.
Thanks.
the other thing is.
That
the
means,
pickleball
in all my
courts-
time too I got.
Look at his face now, because if they put him in there, that man will be in a nut home. But look at him now.
Yeah,
We can't do that to that man.
we can.
Jeez. Whatever that noise is, I don't know if I want to hear it.
I don't know.
Two.
So two?
He was like.
So we probably can get 3 in there.
Yeah.
If they have
And
2.
they have parking, because pickleball courts drag people from all over, and you think, oh, this is nice,
Oh,
then
no,
you're
that's
like,
fine.
oh my god. Yeah,
What
they
a
take the
second.
parking,
Residents only.
oh, good luck with that
And
one.
again, and remember, it's school property too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to, you have to abide by the school's rules as far as public use of their property.
Right,
Now, anybody just go up and play on the school's baseball diamond. You just,
I understand.
you'll ruin it.
Pickleball in the Olympics.
There might be a new
They're
game
talking
in
about-
school.
Please, if you're watching, it's on television. Celebrities are doing it now and they against each other.
Maybe it's
Hundreds of
something the school
thousands of
want to
dollars
get
prize
into.
money.
Maybe it's something a proposition is, proposed in school.
Right.
They may be like, yeah, good idea.
What other town property we got that we might be able to put her?
Or what the tennis courts are?
Huh?
Yeah.
Deviating from our grant talk.
Yeah, okay, let's get back.
yeah, I think
Tracy.
it, you know, to answer your question, I think it needs more thought before it goes into a grant. These grants are so competitive, you need to be really well thought through, and that's why it was such a great idea for these guys to go and work on this and get it to this point of feasibility, so I would go purely with this, because we have the whole argument built around why we should do it in the plan, and I would go for that. The other thing is that you have the zoning update that you want to do. And I applied for a grant through Department of State, they call it Department of State Smart Growth Grant, and that, I'm hoping you get it this time. You should hear in 2 weeks from the CFA, and I hope you get it, and we can go forth with that effort. But if we don't, you might, if that is your priority, we might want to apply for money for that.
So that grant application, Annie, is to redo the zoning map, basically.
And the ordinance.
Right.
Because Karen gave me a whole list that really thought through about the weaknesses and how to get the ordinance up to date.
All
To,
the conflicts.
The conflicts, yeah, as best as you could do, the definitions and the map. and considering any places where zoning might be changed, which we didn't deal with in the comprehensive plan. So that's where we would deal with it. So I got my fingers crossed. A couple of weeks you'll know. And
If we get turned down, do you think we should package that with this? The
yeah, I
playground?
would put in 2 applications.
Right, that's separate ones.
Put in 2 applications because honestly, I don't know if you read the article in the Adirondack Explorer this last week, but they talked about how Adirondack communities are at a real disadvantage for all grants. You cannot get the points the way they have it all set up.
We've learned
He
that,
knows,
right?
yeah, you can't get the points.
Points go
You
where the
can't
votes are.
Score well, huh?
Points go where the voters are.
Yeah.
It's all political.
Yes. So, I think that the strategy should be that if we don't get the rezoning grant in a couple of weeks, that you apply for it in here and you also apply for a second grant for the, playground. You can't get money unless you put yourselves out there and ask
Right.
for it.
Oh,
You
Right.
just can't.
Anybody disagreeing there?
Is there a limit to how many applications we can put in?
I don't remember. I'm sorry, Chris. I know that you can put in more than one.
So something might stick if we have several applications out there.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
It just depends on who else is applying for things. So there might be so many recreation grant projects and so many zoning or comprehensive plan, and you're just competing that way.
Yeah,
And
pots each one.
you really have no idea. These programs get a stunning amount of applications in. So you just compete.
Well, let's get it done and go from there.
Well, we have a couple
Let's-
things going for us this time that we didn't have before.
Yeah, you guys did a great job and got this thing all put together ahead of time.
And we got the new comprehensive plan.
You got the comprehensive.
And we
plan.
also got
She
the,
knows about it in time to get it put together.
we also got the reclassification, I'm not sure the right word, for the income. 55 up to 63.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know the right
Oh,
words.
this year was a lot, because even with the EMS and the fire department now maybe getting paid, that's all in hopper. Money's coming. All right, well,
Thank you, Tracy.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you,
guys.
especially.
Appreciate it.
Great job.
Really
Thanks.
exciting.
And we have
it's work.
opportunities on the zoning board and planning board if you ever think you want to get more involved in the town.
I'll spend on the budget board.
Oh, that's good.
Do you need help with a tree in your driveway?
No, I'm coming from this morning. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
You do have to add that to your cost. Your playground cost is the cost of taking down those trees.
Yeah, you got that too.
Yes.
That's
$1,000 a tree.
$55K,
Oh,
right?
yeah, easy. Probably over 1,000 a tree.
Yeah, try
Actually,
about
just had
three.
one
That was
guy-
probably like 10 years
I got
ago.
one, I got one that really needs to come down, $7,000. I just
You wanna
refuse.
know something?
I hope it falls, but
I'm
don't.
gonna run business.
You wanna know something? You line up the trees, hook a rope to the top and pull.
Oh, yeah.
If it hits another one, oh well.
Gene's got a couple down there. Look, a good stiff wind would take them down. Those old maples.
Oh,
All right, and look into some of those things
I
I
will
gave
look at
you.
that. Yes, I will.
And
review.
I'm gonna put Jim too, also to follow up on some of these. I just
Okay.
truthfully don't have the time to read every one of them, and so I asked for volunteering. So
All right.
we gotta get moving on some of them. Thanks a lot. Mike.
Thanks,
Again.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you all.
All right, the next thing we needed a quick discussion to think about for next month's 2 weeks meeting. We had a problem. The county put up some parking signs on East River Drive at the request of some neighbors there. And we had somebody.
Street.
Oh, yes,
On
on
Wall
Wall
Street, sorry.
Hartman Hill, top of Hartman.
Yep. And so somebody got a ticket and we have nothing in our zoning for those signs. So I'm gonna leave our attorney to give us some advice on how to, we have to change our zoning about those signs.
It's your ordinance, it's
Ordinance,
not
yeah.
zoning.
Yeah, ordinance. So I think if you would get something together for us for next 2
So
weeks. ago.
basically, there's no, the way I read the stuff we were sent, basically, there's no law to support the sign.
Right. That's
And
what it
it's,
is.
even if we do it now, it's after the fact, so.
Yeah,
But
so
well,
first
can't
we
do
can
that
check it.
one, but it's the next one. Well, the county, you know, like all the county, they put it up, they said no problem, and they did it.
Yeah,
It's on their road, but it's gotta be one of our changes in our thing.
can Mary draft that up
Can you
for
draft
next
something?
meeting?
Yeah, so what is your? What do you want? Do you, so your ordinance only allows no parking between November 15th and April 15th? Is that the intent, or do you never want parking?
Well, the problem is basically it's in the wintertime when the hunters come along, park on the side of the road and go in the woods hunt.
So you don't always want to prevent parking?
I just don't know. The people were just complaining about people, they couldn't see getting out of their driveway and it's a tough corner right there. Because cars were parked there. And I'm assuming it was for hunting.
What corner is that, Jean?
It's coming up Hartman Hill
Yeah.
from where the Queensberry Waterworks are.
Mm-hmm.
The big hill coming up and the houses at the top of the hill on the right-hand side, they were having trouble
Right.
coming out of their
Coming out.
driveway because
I think it's the.
Hunter was
wood
parking
cutting
too
guy.
close. The
Yeah.
cars were going out around them and causing a problem.
So that would sound like we need something not for seasonal, but for all the time.
I think that should be. all
I
the
think it's
time.
all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the summertime, they have those big log trucks going down and they pull over so people can pass them.
Well, also in
It's-
the summer, you get, people have been parking in there to go down over the bank and swim in the river as well. So
Yeah, but they put up that big fence. You can't really do that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Winter time in town, basically, I think.
I see that. Okay, so
I-
no parking at any.
Just
time.
have no, it's only two signs and it's only for, you know, a couple hundred feet. really.
It's more than two signs.
Couple hundred feet, just to keep it away from the park, the
There's four
driveways.
signs.
and those.
4 signs.
That's
There's
not-
4 signs there.
Four,
No, I think this is just for town.
Do we need to define,
point A,
Where?
point B.
yeah, point A and point B?
for plowing.
Well,
This is a general,
unless you just
this is a
state
general
where
ordinance
this
you're trying to
posted,
generally
post,
apply to the
no
town.
no
Mary,
parking
you need to
signs are
define point
posted.
A and point B.
Yeah, I don't think I have the right ordinance.
That's the only
So,
ordinance
That's
we
the only
have.
parking ordinance we have.
Yeah, that's not a template for the new one.
No, I understand, but Call Street isn't even listed on here.
No,
so
it's not.
I don't understand where the authority came from to put those signs up. What I'm thinking is there's other authority that I'm not seeing that
On all
we
that.
might have to look at.
All right.
But yes, so your intention is to not allow parking there all year round.
Right.
So we
In
can,
that
That
location.
spot, not all over town, just that spot.
yeah.
So
so
who
we will
called the
have to
county
do-
and told them to put the signs up?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I asked them, I didn't, you know, I asked, how could
So
it's
that's-
a county road, I figured
I think now you know the history.
Oh, it's a county road?
it's a
It's a
county
county
road.
road.
You can't control it.
How can we designate and put an ordinance in on a county road? You can't do that.
I don't think, that's not what Kevin thought. We have to change our.
So it must be a county regulation.
Can't answer that.
Can you dig into it?
Yes, absolutely.
Melissa had some information on it too through court. Oh, it's in that book.
That goes along. How'd you make out on the, you were gonna check in a couple meetings ago on the speed zone up at the school, because that's
Yeah.
town road.
You do have that.
You forgot?
Yeah, no, she,
No, I
she
didn't
said
forget.
she was
I
wrong.
wasn't
She
gonna
said
bring
it
it up.
quietly.
Oh,
I'm hoping you wouldn't ask me about it.
I got a list of things I'm
State,
gonna
you
ask.
could
I'm
make
running
it
out of
all
time.
period.
Yeah,
For the state.
Yeah.
they still has to do it.
You did.
Have we requested that one too?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you did.
It's been in for Kevin, he sent it in, right? Say, and the guy,
The one up at the school,
the one by the
Yeah.
school.
From
40 to 30.
basically 9N all the way
9N,
down to
Right,
Homer Drive,
right, home is right, right.
down to,
Kevin's rule.
yeah.
Squire.
Squire.
Squire Circle. Thank you.
Squire.
I'll check.
All
Yeah,
right, you finished there?
That takes you.
All right, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Soccer.
Let's see, where are we here? Okay, now we need some discussions. Any of the board members have any resolutions they want to bring forth for 2 weeks meeting from now?
Yeah, I got one.
And I got a couple too, so start with you.
part of the master plan that we finished up last spring. Suggests that we set up an implementation committee for the revised master plan. And I would like to start on that. I might not be ready for a resolution yet. I'd like to start on that. What it would be individuals that talk to the board on a regular basis and just kind of make sure that the new master plan doesn't just get put on a shelf someplace and forgotten. I envisioned it to be 4 or 5 people. 3 or 4 have already volunteered that they would do it. But I would like to move forward with that. I think, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Should I get the volunteers and get
I
the
think
names?
Let's get some volunteers first.
And then bring a resolution saying we want to set up a committee and these to be the people.
Yes.
Can do it all in
One shot, I
Okay.
think. See if we get some, or put it on the internet, maybe we can catch a couple that are. Might read it and say, gee, I want to get involved a little bit or something.
I can do that. What we did is when we were doing the comprehensive plan, we asked the people that were on that committee if any of them were
They should,
interested.
most of them, a couple of them should definitely be on.
Well, there was 4, John, 4 or 5.
Mm.
was one of them.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you spent all that time putting it together, you know, you already know it. You should get the same people on that committee, get a group, and let's put it into action.
I've had 2 people that were on the committee with me ask me since I'm involved in the plan. whether
Yeah.
I've heard anything. And that's why I keep asking Jim.
All right, so that's, we'll move forward that way. Let's get the people.
Yeah,
We get the people at a meeting, we can just put it together and make a resolution to put them on and let them start bringing back information to us.
okay. I'm gonna work on that then.
Okay,
The only other thing I had was, somebody, I think it's probably Lori, sent us some emails about what happens if we have a dog we have to send to a dog hospital.
Cindy did that.
Says, where's that stand? Because our dog guy is gone for like 3 months or something.
yeah, we had a couple of problems over the weekend. One, I got a call about a lady hit a dog on East River Drive, and she had it in her car, and she lives in Hadley, so.
What do you do?
Well, I had to call the sheriff, because they're supposed to be following up on it. I called her today to see what happened, but I got an answer machine and she didn't call me back. Because after I hung up on her, I was wondering, she's in Hadley, the dog got hit in Luzerne. Which sheriff's department will do it? She called their Saratoga County dog warden, he wouldn't do
No.
anything because it was.
that's no different than a car accident. You might live in Hadley,
Oh.
the car accident happened in Luzerne.
Right now, the only thing we got is the ASPCA.
Yep.
And
County, right?
that's a whole county thing, yeah. So that's what we'll have to put on our internet, I think. I'll get some numbers.
So
And
It's
some
kind of handled.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be cheap. I mean, let you know that.
Well,
Well, you know,
Cindy's
right, Laura?
email said we already had an agreement with some.
Yeah, we have a
shelter.
It's
stemma.
called Barks and Rec. It used to be called Countryside.
Mm.
And it's a little pricey compared to what it used to be. But with Brett not being available right now, that's more of the issue. Who's gonna handle it?
So do the paperwork.
And where will the police, like in the middle of the night, drop a dog off? Are they gonna have access to, all those questions? And we don't know, cause he just said that he was gonna be out for
Quite a while.
a couple of months, I think it
Yeah.
was.
I have
For
another
training.
question too. Can somebody give me some background as to why it's dog only control?
That's Ags and Market, isn't it right? Ags and Markets, that's those rules.
There's other agencies that do
Yeah, separate.
wildlife and all that and other, in
That's your DEC and that.
I got a call from the manager of the food pantry the other day. We all know who it is. But there was a cat in the food pantry.
Well, tell your wife to feed it and take it home.
we don't do that.
I told her to feed it and take it over to Mr. Moldenhausen's house.
Thanks, my dog will eat it.
And I didn't realize that our guy was dogs only, so I called him. And I was quickly informed that I'm dogs only.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing for cats. That's the biggest problem. You know, that's the lady, well, that's those two houses. It's Upriver's wife. She keeps calling me that she's spent a lot of money on neutering cats that she catches there.
That's probably where this cat. came
They're
from.
living in those houses.
So
So
we got a couple over our street this winter.
I saw a black one.
That's right.
I saw a black, first time I saw a black one in our area.
The problem is
I'm done.
too many people at the end of the summer. They're not taking their
Yeah.
cats back. They bought them in the beginning of the summer. Well, we're going home now. We can't have a cat. And they leave them. And it happens every year.
All right, well, that's those are the problems that are linging on and on. Anybody else have anything for
There is
resolutions?
that place in Glens Falls that is specific to cats. I don't remember what it's called. But they're like a cat rescue and they do come out and get cats. It's right next to St. Mary's School.
We're on Orange Street.
South
It's on
Glens
the
Falls?
back street there, Lawrence Street, maybe?
Can you get us a name and number?
Sure, yeah.
Do that, please, and I'll call them, see what we can do a contract with.
Yeah,
So. All right,
I'm done.
you've done, everybody else, I just got a couple of little things. Go ahead.
Couple months ago, we were discussing the great turnout and everything that happened this summer with the bands and everything. And we talked about getting a total final figure on expenditures. And I'd like to see that done still.
Okay, you know, I told Colleen to check it out, so,
Okay, labor.
I mean, for our guys, yeah.
Yeah, the labor, the tables we built, the extra tables, just so we have some sort of an idea. Because if we did that much this year, where are we going next year with this? Okay,
Well, it's already in a roll, we've had a couple of meetings.
that's what I'm saying.
We're looking for new bands, and to expand it a little bit. I don't want to, personally, I don't want to expand it anymore. We had 700 and some people there. I don't think we need any more.
Well, just like you ran into it, taking care of the garbage, turned into a hassle. I'm just saying though. Okay, that, trying to find sometimes people to work it.
Well, it's the first time we tried it. Now we
Right.
know this year is gonna be different. We're already
Right.
working on that. Yeah,
Okay.
well, the garbage, yeah, we'll just, a couple guys and myself, and we just collected it. It's easy, you know. No, but yeah, we'll have a list of stuff. They'll have a list, not me. They'll have a list of stuff when they come in front of you.
So if you can get the
I'm
figures
gonna
out.
lay a little bomb on you.
Oh, God, I'm used to that. Go ahead.
Has anybody thought about modifying the pavilion just a little bit?
Yeah, I have. What, are you taking my idea?
No,
Oh, I didn't tell you.
I know that
It's a
it
lot.
doesn't really work too good for a band.
Well, that's what
Well, I don't know if we wanna
no,
turn it into a band stand.
no. Well, I had a thought and I worked with a couple of people, but I need an engineer to do it. But as you face the pavilion, take the middle of it and peak the roof like this. So when the people out there are looking, they're looking into a higher space. There'll be a lot of engineering.
I assume that's all trusses, which means you'd have to throw them away.
That's right.
Well, not real, well, the way it is, you'd have to support them. They can't, yeah, take them out. One, that's all.
Yeah, because that's a clear span building.
So,
Front to back.
Yeah.
Big Jim.
you gotta get into engineer reports and, you know, so I.
The price that you come up with.
Yeah, what happened?
Refurbing the gazebo. Did we have it looked at?
Did we get that done?
What's that?
Pine Hill.
The gazebo.
I don't.
Oh, the
remember getting a
appraisal.
number.
The
Yeah.
appraisal, yeah.
Yeah, they
Appraiser
just
and
says
everything?
the guy never called. He was supposed to be there 2 weeks ago. I called him, I talked to him and set it up with him. And then the holiday came in, I gotta call him tomorrow.
What, to have it appraised, right?
Well, yeah, I called an appraiser. He gave me
Because
two,
that man's,
he gave
Give
me
you a
2
price,
weeks,
right?
no, he gave me 2 weeks from,
No, price, he gave you.
a rough price, but he wanted to go look at it.
Oh,
That he would take care of it 2 weeks from, I called him on a Friday, it was 2 weeks, it was a week before the Friday before Thanksgiving, so. And he still hasn't done anything.
okay.
We'll look into that too.
Have we got anything other than
that
that
wasn't to
one?
repair it, though.
How about-
Price.
How about the dam?
That's what I
Forest
was,
Lake.
I was gonna say the same thing.
How do we
The dam is
stand on
Forest
that?
Lake, yeah.
What day?
Forest Lake.
Far north, they wanna,
One-
refix
someone's
it.
got their finger
They
in.
dropped it.
they dropped it?
I mean, they haven't contacted me about it since they came to the meeting.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Well, they pushed
That's your
us,
shock face.
Yeah, I know.
they pushed us and now they didn't return. Cause we sent them home to do some homework.
No, we haven't heard
We
from
haven't
since.
changed.
Okay, how about,
And
the other one, the last one?
Which one is the last one? I'm thinking about the beach. Up in
Oh.
Lake
That-
Bernard. Me neither.
Okay,
They submitted an opinion to us, what they wanted. to
we
do.
didn't like
We
it.
said no, come up with something else, and they never called us back.
They don't
I
like it.
was in here signing checks last week. And he came in
Hmm.
and he asked me, what's going on? I played stupid. I said,
Oh, that's not easy.
no, it is for me.
That's not hard at all, was it?
No, I told him it was in the hands of the lawyers.
No, we
And he
sat
didn't-
with them.
He
We had a
didn't seem
meeting
to
with
know either
them.
what was going
We had the
on.
meeting right here.
Well, before that, we had a meeting with them saying what we wanted, lease it from us every year. And then they came back and they wanted,
And the last remark was, if you don't go with what I want,
right,
we'll see you in court.
court, exactly right.
Well, said no, and I have not heard from them since.
Now,
Okay,
now,
as long as you send them a letter.
Knock on wood for.
I still say we should, in the spring, put a fence around that property. That's all.
Wow.
That's provoking them, but it's
So, but
our
that-
property.
Well, you got boss.
All right, I just got a couple of things so we can move on.
Hold on.
What's that?
Take that fence
Change the
down.
disc.
Okay.
Access in that one side facing 9N, got a
Yeah,
fence up.
that's
I need to
a town
know
road.
that.
That's a town road. I still can't figure out how in the hell he's blocking that off.
I'm still blocking it off. Got that,
Split rail fence. in.
Yeah, and they move it just before snowmobile season, they move it open. to
and
get
then the snow machines get up in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I figured that, because it's not permanent. You can see the blocks.
Why?
no, you can move them easy.
he does it in the summer.
Yes,
Did he talk to you guys?
Still public access.
Yeah. I do.
The guy that owns Casters,
Not to me.
he said he was here to try to get a insurance certificate. From the snowmobile club. I said, I don't know
I
anything
might,
about that.
no, I don't know if Cindy talked to him. I might not have been in the office at the time.
I didn't see him. I would have gave them the snowmobile club. They have insurance on it.
What's he worried about?
I was into that.
Town property.
No, I think basically, yeah, it's all town property, the road too.
Yeah. The town road. That's what I'm saying. So why is he worrying about getting a certificate?
The snowmobile comes across their property, I think, right?
Nope.
No.
It's actually not their property, it's ours and the road's ours.
I thought they were saying that they also.
That's the problem.
Oh, maybe coming in, might be their
Yeah,
property.
yeah, that little section might be.
They said it was a very small part.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. That's what they're telling us.
Well, he's tough and so
Yeah,
is the daughter.
that's why I didn't
Yeah.
say anything.
Any more on Guido's?
Are you asking me?
Hello.
They are in process, the planning board passed their site plan review. And, they have it in front of APA, they have to do a permit process through APA,
Okay,
so they're working on that.
okay.
Anything else before I start?
Yeah, what we do on the roads for Reach project? I wasn't here last one, remember?
Say that again?
Reach project,
Tom Reach
Reach project.
Oh,
Road.
nothing. I
Would
don't-
you like me to talk just
You want
briefly about
briefly?
that?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Bring me
Okay,
up to
I've-
date if you could.
Yeah. At your last meeting, you talked about the design of the road and that you would rather see a cul-de-sac than the hammerhead. They resubmitted plans to me, which I have not provided to you because the road design in our subdivision book calls for a 28-foot wide road, and their design is 24 feet wide. The town board is not the board that will give a variance if a variance is given on the width of the road. That has to come from the planning board, and the planning board is meeting Wednesday night, and it will be discussed there. They have to prove a hardship, and finance is not part of the conditions of a hardship in the subdivision book. So I don't know
What do you
where the width of the road stands at this point, but they did redesign it to a cul-de-sac. And once the planning board has met and discussed it, if, well, however it ends up, they're either going to have to redesign the road wider, or I will provide you with the redesign of the road they provided us if the planning board accepts that. But I don't know that the planning board is going to accept that, because it's the planning board that sets the width of the road, not the town board.
There you go.
There you go.
Ryan was pretty strong when he went to see a Colts.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
There's nothing worse than a hammerhead. Because what's gonna happen is,
the same thing would happen today with a couple of houses that we got people saying, that you're plowing and you're snow on our property.
yeah. Just like plowing the snow in front of the car and in back of the car.
John, do you have anything
Okay.
you want to add to that?
That person just not done very quickly.
Wait a minute, John, come up to the mic. John Krimsky is the chairman of the planning board. He's aware of all what's going on with this.
It's just in the town subdivision regulations, it states that it has to be 28 feet. Those regulations were voted on years ago by the town board. For us to make it 24, like you guys discussed at that meeting, if we passed it, it would have to be a hardship. Well, what they brought up at their meeting was their hardship was
And
gonna
Tim
cost them.
Hanlon put him down on it.
it was gonna cost.
Yeah,
them.
he didn't
Well,
like
we-
me at the end of that meeting, you know, he didn't like me at all.
Yeah, he didn't like asking what.
For me.
Yeah.
And in just
Or-
my opinion, I'm only one member of the planning board, but, you know, if the planning board did pass that and said, you know, well, the hardship was the money, well, then anybody else could come in front of us and
Oh, well,
Right.
that's that, you know, that's my feeling. The same thing with not having a homeowners association to take care of the off the road, you know, get it. You're gonna have a couple more coming up. Everybody's gonna ask you to reduce the size of the road and
We're
us
creating a
take over the
problem.
roads.
So the
Well,
only- the only
in order
way-
to reduce the size of the road and the regulations, we would have to amend the subdivision regulations, which is going through basically a local law, public hearing and amending it.
I think it's 28 feet from here on out. I mean, it's a
mean,
brand new construction. You can't tell me he can't sell to anybody. It's
Well,
hardship.
we did do some research on the width of the roads, and the New York State Fire Access Road under the building code stuff allows for a narrower road. I looked at Warrensburg's regulations for Hammerhead, not for a cul-de-sac. That called for a narrower road, but the issue is that our regulations are what have been adopted, and that's what the planning board has to go by. So they've got to get that changed. They either have to prove a hardship, and there's specific things in there on how to prove a hardship,
Okay,
or they have to design it at the 28 feet,
there it is. There
Or
it is.
you guys have to,
No.
rewrite the
I don't want
regulations.
to, that's like, yeah, I
I don't
wouldn't
know
be
why-
into
why-
changing.
when that law came into effect, but it's way before my time.
Yeah, I think it's a bad precedent to be changing a law just for one person developer. I don't,
Why,
We're
I think
changing all our
no,
laws.
I
if
don't think
that
that's
ever-
good at all. That's not
that'd
good.
be up to you guys. Well, if you changed it, it would be for everybody.
Have
did look-
everybody. What
I
goes
did
around-
look at the other subdivision that's in front of the planning board right now, and that road is a cul-de-sac, and it is designed at 28 feet wide,
There
which
it
is
is.
what the regulations
go.
call
If
for.
not, let them start an association, put it in their own thing, and they can take care of their own roads.
Isn't the association though still 28 feet?
Yes,
Is it really?
Yes,
it has to
They
be.
because-
own the roads, it's still gotta be 28?
Yep.
yep,
I think the
How
rules
is
are.
that-
rules are
because
pretty
it's a
clear.
cul-de-sac. A
Right.
cul-de-sac has to be designed that way.
Does the
And
fire
I
department-
think that they took into consideration like fire apparatus and EMS apparatus and
Okay.
turnarounds and all of that into it, and that's maybe under today's standards, you can get by with a narrower road, but at the time that this was done and adopted, that apparently what was given to them as acceptable regulations.
Wow. Cause there's a lot of roads in this town, as you well.
Well, I know that. I know that.
Don't even come close to those.
Oh, some of us in the heights, the A, B,
Old,
C
old,
roads,
oh yeah,
those dirt roads.
like Seventh Avenue goes down and
Seventh,
turns.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so
The
there-
Hidden Valley Road reaching to their road is not 28 feet,
Oh,
Guarantee you that,
but that was before they adopted the regulations. So
sure.
all grandfather.
All right, any more there? So,
Okay.
No, I'm in good shape.
Thank you, John.
Next time, watch it on YouTube, even though you're laying in bed, jeez.
You
Yeah,
want
there's
something?
Prince
You
of
probably
Sheba,
will.
When I got home,
Waking
all
up.
laying up like a big house cat.
I passed out when they put me in the car. The next thing I remember was getting out of the car and my wife stopped in between to pick up medication at the drugstore.
Well,
down in Warren.
Yep.
She stopped and got a pizza to eat and I'm still out in the car, sound asleep. I walked in and woke up at 10 o'clock at night. You didn't want to hear, I didn't want to hear nothing.
She's enjoying the most peace she's had in years.
Keep it up.
All right, all right, you all got the email about the EMS ambulance.
Yes.
Be Linz.
Yes.
All right, we're pretty much set with that. We got money aside for it. We got some.
They're gonna be this year or next year.
Huh?
Scott said it's at the
They put the
dealer.
car
It's
with.
coming quickly to the dealer now.
Yeah, it's coming.
Should have it.
Is that gonna
We
come
have-
out of this year
Who
or
gets
next
the
year?
old ambulance? The money from the
No.
old ambulance?
The old ambulance, they put the fly card with. They didn't get a lot of money for that old ambulance.
No, the one they got now. What are they gonna do with that?
No, to keep both of them. We can have a new one and the used one, so they
Gotta have one in just in case, I think
gotta have two.
Okay.
Gotta have two.
Is that gonna come out of this year or next year?
What's that?
Money.
Well, the money set
I
aside
got
for
30
this year.
days.
It's the ARPA money's gotta be spent anyway in 2024. I put it on the side. We got money in the bank for it. So we should be all right. It's a cheaper price than completely. It's down to, what did I say? What did?
So what's the next step on that, Gene, for the ambulance? Are we just, it's all this is acquirement process is all just like a clock? It's
That's
gonna
it. That's
happen.
the way. You
Okay,
gotta get registered and everything else.
okay, good.
We gotta give them the check to pay for it and
Yep.
basically
We're on schedule. We're good to go and
good to go.
good.
All right, here's another, this is important. We were talking in the office today, because like last week was the holiday. A lot of people took off on Friday. It's hard to get all this paperwork done. I'd like to go back to the way it used to be, was to meet every other, the second Tuesday of every month instead of Monday. So we have an extra day, Monday, to change a lot of, if you see my paper here, a lot of this stuff came in today or Friday. There's no time to really set up so we'd like to, if that's,
Well, instead of doing that, why don't you just check the time there is a holiday?
yeah, but then you're switching days anyway. It's better off to have an extra day after the weekend for the ladies in the office, even me, to get paperwork done.
What
You know.
what are you proposing?
To just go back to the way it used to be. It was every other, the second Tuesday of every month. We changed it many years ago for Danny Waterhouse. Because he couldn't get here.
No, we play golf on Tuesdays.
You're talking about changing
No.
both meetings?
Oh, you play golf on
Tuesdays?
Tuesday. You play golf on Tuesday?
That's beer buying night. You don't have to worry about me next year,
Oh,
remember?
that's right. Shut up.
I'm gonna extend it now.
I thought
Reschedule my band practice.
both meetings to Tuesdays?
No, Tuesday is the second and then the fourth Tuesday of the month.
So instead of Monday, it'll be Tuesday.
They always, it was actually before my time. The meetings were on Tuesdays.
Yes,
The town board meeting.
town board meetings.
It's either a Monday or a Friday.
So if it's all right with you, we'll bring it up for a vote on it. I just want to bring it in front of you for next week.
Do we need a resolution on that?
We'll do it
next
for next week,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would suggest doing that at your organization.
Yes, we have to set all that reorganization. We have to set for the swearing in.
That's not far away.
Oh, boy, it's coming quick, huh?
That is fine, but I kind of need to know what you guys think you're gonna do, because I work a second job in the winter,
I'm sorry.
and in a couple of weeks, we're gonna be having our pre-season meeting, and I have to tell them what nights I want. And we schedule out weeks, so I can't say, oh, well, I can't come this night because I have to, for either one.
Was anybody against the second
So
I'm not.
Tuesday?
if you guys can
Andy?
kind of decide
No
what you're
problem.
gonna do.
Annie, how about you?
I'm fine.
Tim, how about you?
It doesn't work for me, but I'll have to make it work.
No, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine with it.
And I'm
Ask
fine.
him.
That's right, you're out there now too. You're all right? And Chris, you're all right? All right, so we'll put
How
the,
about you, Mary?
huh?
I'm good any night too, thanks. for
Okay, well, we would have to get somebody else. Really?
asking.
We'd have to get somebody else. No, I wouldn't get anybody but you. All
Oh,
right,
did you
so,
take the course last week?
so we,
You
we're
walked
set
in
on
and signed
Tuesday.
in, and you left.
Yeah, but like Mary said, you need to set that at organizational day. I
Okay.
just kind of need to know what you guys.
All
think
right,
you
well,
wanna do
we're gonna do it
for my other
organizational.
job. That way I know what to tell them.
All right,
I
so-
can set any nights that I
Need to.
need to there, but I just need to know ahead of time.
So it's
because
gonna be
we
Tuesday.
Set that schedule in
Okay,
mid-December.
it's Tuesday. We'll do it on organization.
You're starting in January, it's gonna be Tuesday.
Yes.
What night are you gonna do the organizational and the signing? Swearing in. You got
Um,
two people to swear in,
Okay,
plus the judges and everybody else.
okay. Organizational day, we usually do on the first
Or the second.
or the second. The first,
It's on a Monday.
again, is better for our office.
On a Monday, is it this year?
Yeah, it's a Monday, because when the doors open Tuesday morning and people can come in and pay taxes, we're gonna be swamped.
Mm.
But you guys can do it whenever you want. I'm just.
Well, the Tuesday night would be the first. No, the Tuesday night is not till the following week.
Or the day.
Yeah, no, but the Tuesday we're talking about, the first meeting is the second. So wait
No.
from,
No, the ninth.
You have to have an organizational day meeting. Separate from everything else.
You need a year-ending meeting.
Okay, I've got
well,
that
see,
all written down.
that's what I
here.
thought we were gonna change the year-end meeting to an organization at the same time, right?
No,
No, you can't.
hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Oh, you can?
You
What we
have
have,
5 days to have your organizational meeting from the
Right,
first. So
right.
you
Yeah.
have it
Okay,
till January.
Thank you, Mary.
5th.
but we usually try to have it on the
Yes,
first,
that's
in the
correct.
morning. And
Whatever
it
you
only
guys
takes
want.
about an hour, but that's up to you guys. But the year-end meeting and the agenda meeting, we can combine
Right. That's
on
what we talked about.
Tuesday, December 26th, if you want to do that.
Let's just do it.
Only because
over.
Monday is the holiday.
At 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yes, or you can go anytime that week. It doesn't have to be Tuesday night. But I just went to the next business day after the holiday, was what I was thinking you guys might want to do.
Well, might as well do Tuesday, but start getting ready for Tuesdays.
Yeah.
God.
Planning
What
board is
Tuesdays
the
we doing
20th.
now? I gotta.
Okay,
It's
the
the
24th,
The
the
4th,
27th, so that's out.
So it's 26th.
Tuesday.
That's what we're gonna do. 26, Tuesday to 26. We'll have two meetings in one.
You're before Christmas?
Hmm?
26.
26.
I know, but I'm so sorry. Oh, well.
Okay, hold on.
What are you calling it? Year-end and organizational?
No,
No,
it'll
just,
be year-end and agenda.
Year-end.
It's the
And
agenda
agenda.
meeting, and we're gonna incorporate the year-end meeting. Cause the year-end meeting technically is a meeting just to pay the last bit of
Last
bills
bill
for the year.
That's really what we're doing.
So that's
We
not.
really don't even do any resolutions or
So
anything.
it should go real quick like tonight has.
yeah,
Well, it
right.
started off to be quick. It's on 25 already. All right, so we got that.
So we can do a resolution to set that on the 11th.
Okay, so you gotta do that on the
And then
11th.
you guys can decide when you wanna do organizational day. Honestly, you can do it whenever you want. I just wanted to throw that out there that it's easier if we do it on a day that our office.
So
is
the
not
11th
open.
of December, we're doing this.
You're gonna set you're gonna do a resolution to set it, yes.
Dane, can you make a meeting New Year's Day?
And
That's on a Monday,
that's.
New Year's Day.
Yeah, I think last year we
We did it on New Year's Day.
What
We
time do
did
you
at
do
11
that?
o'clock. And it only takes about an hour. And then we're out of here.
Sorry,
You don't do that.
I don't have to worry about that.
But that's just, I'm just throwing that out there.
All right, so that's the first. All right, we're doing that on the first, at
Well,
11.
you guys can decide by the 11th, what you wanna.
All right, well, we got it on the, come up, write it all out. Another thing we need, what are we gonna do about Jamie Krantz? We're gonna continue her contract if she wants, or go out and look for a bid for somebody else.
So keep it.
I think we got it all settled from all the problems we
You're
had
not gonna
settled.
find anybody anywhere
Right.
near as.
I agree.
Actually, very good to work.
She's done really well. We had a lot of with Chris came in, couldn't get it on the computer and stuff, so. We had a lot of, no, I'm only teasing you. We had a lot of technical problems, not hers or ours. So if I call her and say, do you wanna?
Maybe we
Stay
can
on?
reach out to her and see if she's still interested.
Yeah, I'll call her first, see if she's interested.
Who's this?
Amy Krantz, the one that does our computers,
She
I mean,
does.
our website and all that thing. So she's really done a great job. I mean.
Is she like hired just for a year? Is that,
It's
This is
year-to-year
year to
contract.
it's
year.
year to year? Okay.
What about? Jamie?
Jamie, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking.
Okay. How about her outfit?
Who's? Hmm?
Me,
Oh, you?
Mannix. That's what he's asking about.
Yeah.
To
Are
run
you-
our computer? I didn't know you did that too.
Are you submitting?
To run computers? Absolutely not.
No, you're the firm you work for.
Oh, no, yeah, we got, they got a supplement, another contract. We know that. I know that.
It's going down.
Huh?
It's going down.
Price is going down.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No, we're gonna keep the same. You guys want the same attorney, no problem, right?
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
have to worry.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we
Bring an
got,
endorsement over there.
so
You
you,
want an endorsement? I'll give you an endorsement.
all right, so you're tell your boss, give us a contract and we'll go again. Oh, you gonna, we are not going up in price though, but you give me a contract. Now submit what you have to submit and we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
All right, wait, well, I don't
You're
wanna,
out of here.
I don't wanna lose my spot. Okay, wait a minute. Now, there's one other resolution we need for the AATV. I think you were reading about the cell tower. They wanna petition the state of New York to have some person to control that, to go fight for it, to designated person in charge, not the government. So I don't know if you wanna support it. That's up to you, but
That almost sounds like the same bullcrap they did years ago in regards to giving it to the APA. We'll give this separate person that handles everything and he's got total control. That's the way I'm viewing
The state knows what they're supposed to do.
no, but they don't.
it.
The ATA is
they're
an
supposed to do.
active group that challenges our government in the state of New York on things. We passed a few things for them. They
Yeah.
fight for a lot of things for towns, little towns, big towns. That's all they want. It's just to have somebody that they can control. When I say we, I'm not me, but they can control and help push things like this.
Who is this Empire State Development?
It's
Do you
just an
know who they are?
organization. No, I don't know who they are. I really don't. I just got this yesterday.
Yeah, it's the thing Gene's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have time to look it over before the meeting, because it's not.
That's it, right? That's the resolution.
You can do up the resolution, but I,
Guys, do whatever you want. You don't want to do it? I have no problem.
I don't know enough about it to answer. Like, who are they?
Okay, I can get some. I can get actually Mo's wife is a big part of that.
Yeah.
She's their secretary. I'll have her put up on,
Get some more information.
all right. All right, let's see what else. Okay, the last thing is we had the tree lighting last night. It really was well attended. And I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for all what they put into.
Well, I want to thank the buildings and grounds guys.
Oh, they did a
I
great job.
think that park looks really neat.
Except now something blew, something with that snow fell on it. They got to research it. But it got wet, something got wet.
Yeah. But
Half is on, half is off, so they're gonna look
if
bad.
you wanna know something? They are a good bunch of garbage pickers.
Garbage pickers,
Yes. Where do you think all the decorations come from, most of them?
the garbage?
People turn them in right after the first year, with the dumpsters
No.
up there.
No, we're buying that stuff.
We are.
We are buying.
You'd be surprised how much comes out of.
I mean, they might have something here and there, but most of the stuff we have to buy new.
Yeah, lights and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Sanford.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay, so you're gonna go down through the other resolutions you need, the basic ones?
I just did. The one to support the ATV,
Yeah,
and we already passed the resolution for, we didn't get we need the resolution in the ambulance, right? We need a resolution to pass that.
do we need to do that, or we already did? I'll have to
That was
look.
already done.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, that one's done. No, like we'll need a resolution to pay the bills, a resolution to accept the minutes.
Right,
We talked about setting the year-end day,
Yeah.
meeting and the organizational day meeting. And, there's going to be a public hearing on proposed local law number 2, as it pertains to providing real property tax exemption from town taxes for volunteer firefighters and volunteer
Right.
ambulance workers. And that's all that I have.
well, we passed the hazardous mitigation. Okay.
Yep.
So we got it. Anything else that somebody wanted to bring up?
One thing I wanted to bring up is if there's like a meeting that's coming up, like, and you just need 1 or 2 people, can you throw that into like an email so we all know what's going on? Do you know what I mean?
No, say that again.
If there's a meeting that's coming up for anything, and you're going to be discussing something that we all should be part of. I mean, I know some things you can't do and with a quorum. But
Oh,
some,
without a forum, yeah.
I'd like to see any of these type of meetings, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the same track with you in regards to the situation we had with a personnel problem,
Mhm.
water situation.
Yeah,
Okay,
But a lot of them, if we have 3 people, it's a meeting.
then fine, we pull a meeting. This going, nothing against you or Jim.
just to cover your own back, you know,
You come back and you report to us at a meeting that this happened, and then nothing against you, we find out there was other things involved in there. Myself personally, if I'm going to want to know what's going on, and on the same track you're looking at, I think we ought to call a meeting to get it all over with the whole group.
I saw the the email that we got from Jeff
Yeah,
saying like the hours that people worked, and he's worked, what was it, 85 days without a day off, things like that. If you're having like a meeting with him, I think we should all be there. Just to
I got no problem.
cover everyone's.
We still can't get,
You can't, not more than 3 can be there though.
if we call a special meeting, we can,
You need 3 days notice.
3 days
that's
notice.
the problem.
So we pull 3 days notice,
All right.
I don't
Here
think
every
you can
night.
deal with personnel.
Yeah.
It's all right with me. I ain't got no problem with that.
So it's 3 people or no more than 3?
No,
no
Is
more.
that what you're,
No.
no.
if we
You can't
have
a
3,
majority,
Once you
so
have
make
more
sure
than
people-
3, you gotta have.
then
I mean,
it's,
Once you have 3, that's a.
3 or more.
It's a town board.
Quorum. As soon
okay,
as you got a quorum, you gotta call a special meeting.
You gotta put it in the paper and everything like that.
3 days. And
so it's a slippery slope there.
It's, yeah, well, it's like this one with the ATV, it came in today,
Yeah,
you know, so.
I mean, I like to be prepared. I don't like for surprises
I
if
think
something
you might
comes
not
up.
feel the same way, you know, it's.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully if we, make some changes. We got a new girl in the office now to take up some space, not space, but work time.
That's something you gotta start and get done this year, this coming year. Is the new town handbook. That has to get done this year. We've made a number of changes. We've got additional holidays in there now. Pay scales have changed.
That'd be a good job for a deputy supervisor.
Fine, take it.
Well,
I'm just saying, that is something that should have been done a couple of years ago. And that's gotta get done. There's too many ins and outs on that. You've got town people that work for the town saying, well, this don't even apply anymore. Okay, and that book should be brought up to date.
That's been talking, we did it about 6-7 years ago and it took a year.
I don't doubt it at all, Dean. I don't doubt it at all.
All right, we'll work on
The
it.
thing is,
There's some
a
stuff that. has to
person
be
like
worked on.
Lori and Cindy knows a lot of it. Okay. But at the same time, a couple other people, not to put not to put it on those ladies. Bring it all together, but a couple of people put it together. Get
It's
their
not
input.
up to us to do it.
Colleen, okay, Ronnie. I think should be involved. And his men. Gotta get done.
All right,
This
thank
is
you.
where we run into a lot of problems this past couple of years in regards to changes. I'll stay home for now.
Oh,
I couldn't be that lucky. No, you.
Give me the word, buddy.
You got 3 more meetings. You better get your ass here.
Give me the word.
No, I ain't gonna give you no word. Huh? 2 more meetings? Oh, yeah. Well, let's go. I was just gonna call for an adjournment. Go ahead.
That's what I was.
Heard enough.
Executive session.
What?
Jesus Christ.
For what reason?
Andy kind of brought it up. I'm wondering what's going on with that.
Was what?
What?
So it's the employment of a particular person.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed.
Nothing to report.
Okay. I make a motion.
I don't know. We're looking-
I second.
Well,
that.
third,
Well, we called you, you got all the
It's adjourned.
information.
It's adjourned.
That's, okay, so
You got it? You got that, Lori?
Got it.